Hello there. Welcome to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and tonight I have one for my simple scrappers. We're going to create a simple 2-page layout using the Wildflower Birthday set. So we're going to be adding some cute party dots. We're going to add Wildflower Celebrations cardstock, which is 2 sheets each of Pool Party, Blueberry Bushel, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, and Soft Seafoam. The 12 by 12 sticker sheet that comes with the Wildflower Birthday DSP and sticker sheet has 3 large title opportunities: florals, cake, a few little tabs, and some longer 1/2-inch stickers. They also come with the designer series paper, which is pattern paper on one side and some cut apart sheets on the other, and some gorgeous designer series paper with gold foil embedded in them. There's some more neutral tones or smaller patterns on the back of some of the larger florals and the gold embedded papers. In addition to gorgeous designer series paper, there are also 2 sheets, 12 by 12 inches of punch out ephemera that's going to make it so easy to add to our pages and embellish our pages with so much ephemera. You can put these punch out sheets on top of each other and punch 2 layers out at once, and you're going to have 2 each of each design, which are balloons, florals, cakes, banners, leaves, and more. Now, I like to punch out everything at once and create with the entire collection at once and create multiple pages. So I've punched out all of the ephemera and I've put the large florals together, small florals together, the cakes, the cupcakes together, the leaves together, and the gold foil pieces together. Now, I went a step further and I cut apart my stickers, and I put the titles together and added the cake with the cake, the florals with the florals, and I left my longer strips together because I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to use those. I didn't cut apart the cut apart sheets because I'm not exactly sure which ones I'm going to use and which ones I'm going to use the front of and which ones I'm going to use the back of, but that makes me feel a lot more organized when I get ready to do a series of layouts. I have a few odd pictures left from a 50th birthday party of all of my girlfriends and I who went to high school together. I've already scrapped one of those photos, but I had some odd ones left. Now I want to make sure that you could adjust. So I have 3 4x6 photos, but you could easily turn those into vertical or horizontal photos, 3x4 photos, 2 of them for each of the 4x6 instead of 4x6. So I'm going to use this crisscross pink pattern here, the gingham pattern, and I have gutted this paper from 2 inches all the way around. Now, the only reason you gut your paper is to save paper. So I went from 2 inches to 10 inches all the way around to save the middle out. You could definitely leave it whole. And then I have 2 pool party pieces that are 9 by 10 inches. And I wanted to show how you could use those 9 by 10 inch pieces vertically or horizontally, depend on the ways your photos land. So if you're using vertical photos, you can use them one way. If you're using horizontal photos, you can use them another way. If you're using 4x6s, you can use them one way. If you're using 3x4s, you can use those one way. I really love to use these types of layouts for very simple layouts because anything goes. You can make them work for a variety of orientations as well as a variety of sizes. So I'm going to add some Willow white cardstock to the center of that at 8.5 by 9.5. And I've chosen to use my pieces horizontally. So I want both of those pieces horizontally. And then I want to use 3x3 squares, 4 of them, that is the cake pattern. Now, I would not have needed to make those 3x3. You could have gotten by with those being 1x3 because they're not going to show once I put those pieces in over the top, but I actually used 3x3s, and then I'm going to take another piece of the pool party, 3/4 by 12, and then a piece of the striped pattern that is 1/2 by 12, and I'm going to center that onto the 3/4 inch by 12 inch piece. So you can actually add a 12 by 12 willow white piece to the back of that to make it sturdy, or you can build right on the frame. So I'm going to adhere the 1/2 by 12 inch stripe piece to the 3/4 by 12 inch pool party piece. Now, because we're using two-tone cardstock, that means that there is a light side or a true side to the cardstock, and there is a dark side or true side. So a light side or a true side. So I think for variation, I'm going to use the light side on the 9 by 10 inch pieces and the dark side on the 3/4 by 12 inch pieces. I'm going to put the 3 by 3 pieces 3 inches up from the bottom and then top that with the 3/4 by 12 inch a pool party piece. And that's going to be the base of the layout. And then we can add the 9 by 10 pool party piece on top. And that's how simple this layout is. Now, if you follow my channel, then you know that I am known for over-the-top Cricut pieces, large focal elements, for trying new things and different things, but I'm also a simple scrapper. I really like to promote simple pages, and I have a Simply Scrappin' workshop each month that I do for simple scrappers, also to encourage beginning scrapbookers. I really want to encourage beginning scrapbookers that could follow my channel and be able to create simple pages as well as elevated pages. So I love all the things, but I also love to really promote new scrappers to show them how to make basic pages and not be overwhelming for all the things. So these types of pages don't require die cuts. They don't require Cricut cuts. They don't require machines or die cutting machines. You can simply use ephemera punch outs or stickers from the sticker sheet to decorate, and using very simple backgrounds. So now I have cut two 5.5 by 7 inch pattern paper pieces. So I'm using the cake 5.5 by 7 inch piece horizontally, and I'm using the scallop stripe gold foil piece vertically. I'm adding my photos, but what I do to one side, I want to coordinate the other side with color balance. So I'm going to add a 3 by 4 piece of that same gold foil scalloped pattern paper over on the right. It feels a little more natural to have those toggling, where I have one in the upper right and one in the lower right of the left page for a little bit of balance. I do notice that I have my scallop pieces going in the wrong direction on the left page, so I've pulled that off and I've rotated that so that those scallop pieces match. I'll be adding my photo over the top of those two pieces, and all that is left to add to that simple base is the title and a little bit of embellishing. So I'm pulling out the titles that are available on the sticker sheet, and I do end up going with the Love This title because there are some blue bits within all of the photos in the layout. I've chosen a large floral punch out and then a banner punch out to decorate simply. And as a simple rule in scrapbooking, things happen often in threes. So we're probably going to have 3 clusters, perhaps 2 clusters on the left page and 1 small cluster on the right page. So I'm very much, if you follow my channel, known for more larger focal elements. I love Cricut cuts. I love over the top pages and all the things, but I also love simple scrapping. And I do a Simply Scrappin' workshop each month that focuses on very functional, simple, easy to put together pages that don't require Cricut cuts or a die cutting machine or any extra techniques or things like that to add to pages. They are very simple, very clean, and very pattern oriented. One of the reasons that I love these simple pages is that we can't spend days and days on every single layout. I love going over the top with some layouts, but we can't do that and do functional, get all of our photos scrapped, right? We need to be functional. I also like to promote simple pages for beginning scrapbookers. I love when young people or new people tune into scrapbooking and they want to start scrapbooking, but it's very overwhelming when the layout has so many over-the-top techniques. It can be so intimidating. So now what I'm doing is I'm concentrating on finding ways that your eyes can go across the pages that draws attention to the important parts, whether it be journaling or the photos. So if I have the floral ephemera on the lower left and I have the title on the upper right of the right page, your eye is going to cross all the way across the photos on the left and the right. I can also add a little cluster of florals in the upper right corner on the left page to keep to the rules of 3. So you have a little bit of a visual triangle. So you can have a couple clusters on the left and one cluster on the right. So I'm going to add a couple little flowers on that upper right corner, 3 to be exact, and maybe a few little leaves, and then add the title on the cake. And I think to stay with the theme, maybe 1 or 2 little photos added to that cake on the right. So simple, so easy, and yet so pretty. Using little paper strips, such as the strips that we can get out of the cut-apart sheets, is a great way to add an additional color to coordinate some of the colors in the photos. So this is about a 3.5-inch piece that I've cut out of the cut-apart sheet. I've cut a couple of them to see which one I like better. I do end up liking the blueberry bushel dot piece to pull out some of the blues in the photos. So when you cut that in half, you end up with 1/2 by 3.5, and I can add one of those to the upper left and one of those to the lower right. Another easy way to elevate simple pages is to add dimension with foam tape. So you can add foam dimensionals. We have small or tiny foam dimensionals, and we also have larger foam dimensionals so that they fit underneath different sized pieces. I'm actually going to double pop with 2 layers of the foam dimensionals on the flower piece on top of the single layer of foam dimensionals on the banner piece there. And it's just another way to add dimension to a simple page. And then usually for clusters, 2 pieces in a cluster will be flush or not popped up with dimensionals. And then you'll add 1 piece in that cluster that's popped up as a general rule to give yourself a little bit of dimension. And then to make that hug around the photo, I'll probably add 2 leaves on one side of that cluster of flowers and then another leaf on the opposite side of that cluster to sort of hug the corner a little bit. And then I'll probably add some smaller dimensionals on the title and add that onto the cake piece on the right side. I love how simple and easy a pattern-oriented layout comes together. I love that you can use this exact layout pattern vertically or horizontally and get the same result. I love how you can change from 3 4x6 photos to 7 3x4 photos if you need more photo opportunities, and how you're using very simple embellishments. Now keep in mind, if you don't want simple and you want to add more things to that, you can decorate it more. You could add inking, extra stamping. You could do a little die cutting. You could ink the edges. There's so much more that you could do, but I'm purposely leaving this layout simple. I love to have a simple layout, series of layouts that I do every single month for beginners and simple scrappers to be able to get at least 10 two-page layouts that are simple and easy to put together. I also do a 12-page Sparkle and Shine elevated workshop as well. Now we're adding some party dots, and I've chosen the orange so that they actually show up and they pop a little bit, and I'm using those also in clusters of either 2 or 3. So typically a large dot and a small dot, and then maybe a small dot in an additional spot, and adding those just for that added decorative element. It's not considered embellishment in my mind until you've added just a little bit of bling. And there you have a super simple layout, very functional, very easy to case and easy to put together and easy to adjust different photo sizes and different orientation. I hope you found this simple layout easy to follow. Please hit like, subscribe, and the notifications, and come back soon for more.